Well, a few isolated thunderstorms are beginning to bubble up in far northwestern Arkansas. You can see that here, highly heated cooling mega Doppler. None of these are expected to be severe this morning. However, they could produce very heavy rainfall, and that coverage could become a little bit more widespread as we move throughout the rest of the day today. Now, notice how we're focusing on northwest Arkansas right now. That's because we're not expecting a whole lot of activity, at least initially in the river valley, but later on this afternoon, that could change. That's why we have a flood watch in effect for the entire weather coverage area. That goes all the way until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Right now, we've got this warm front draped right over the central part of the state, and depending on how much shower and storm activity we see this morning in northwest Arkansas, that is going to determine the northern extent of this front. And that's very important because south of this warm front, we've got a lot of deep, low-level moisture that's starting to pool in right now, and that is required for more significant severe weather potential to be realized because we pretty much have every other ingredient in place right now. Dew points well into the 60s in northwest Arkansas, lower to middle 70s along and south of Interstate 40. So the fuel is not in question right now. It's really the quality of that fuel that we're watching very closely from the Gulf. Right now, though, we're expecting high temperatures to top out in the lower 80s in NWA. There's those rain chances slowly increasing this morning. They might drop off briefly during the early afternoon hours, but that's when things are really going to start ramping up. Right around 6, 7 o'clock, you can see about a 90 to 100% chance for rain with overnight lows dropping off to the middle 60s. River Valley takes a little bit longer for things to get going, only about a 20 to 30% chance for showers and storms this morning, but by the late afternoon, early evening hours, we've got that 100% chance for rain with high temperatures topping out in the lower 90s. So a little bit more fuel to work with along and south of Interstate 40. Let's look at the latest day 1 convective outlook. Right now we've got a level 2 out of 5 slight risk in place for the entire weather coverage area, but there is a potential for that to be upgraded in the River Valley. Main time frame for showers and storms between 2 to 11 p.m. And as you can see, all modes of severe weather are possible. Some of those tornadoes could be strong, especially south of Interstate 40. We can also see large hailstones up to 2 inches in diameter for the entire weather coverage area and damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So a lot of things that we're watching very closely. This is the first severe weather setup we've had in quite a while. And again, it's all going to be determined by the position of that warm front. A little bit more uncertainty for northwest Arkansas. You can see those showers and storms breaking out right around 11, 12 o'clock today. So if that does indeed happen, that warm front will stay south of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Look at those temperatures in the River Valley, already in the middle to upper 80s by the early afternoon hours. This model showing temperatures in the lower 90s. And look at these supercells that are starting to develop in northwest Arkansas right around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That eventually makes its way into the River Valley. If these cells ride that warm front, they are going to be rotating. They are going to be spinning. So that's why we're going to be watching mega Doppler very closely. That heavy rain threat will continue throughout the late afternoon, early evening hours. We'll start to see multiple clusters develop across our weather coverage area before this cold front finally shifts off to the east of the area overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. Now, there will be another chance for showers and storms throughout Wednesday. Not expecting severe weather potential at this time, but it could lead to a low-end threat for flooding, especially if some of those storms train over the same areas. And speaking of which, most spots will get about 1 to 3 inches of rain with this particular storm system. But look at this, locally higher amounts even popping up on some of the computer models. And if that does happen, that flooding potential will be maximized along and south of Interstate 40. So an alert day is in place for today. 100% chance for rain. Highs in the lower 80s in northwest Arkansas. Middle to upper 70s with mostly sunny skies pretty much for the rest of this week. This weekend looking absolutely fantastic. So make sure you get outside and take advantage of this wonderful weather. Overnight lows will be very fall-like in the middle to upper 50s. So that's going to be feeling good in NWA. River Valley highs in the lower 90s today. Upper 70s on Wednesday and Thursday. Lower to middle 80s throughout the weekend with overnight lows in the 60s.